Hey everybody, sitting here with one of my very favorite nieces of all time, Miss Angela, and she kind of cornered me up there. She's been asking a lot of questions and this and that and the other, and I finally told her, look, write them all down, okay? I'm tired of telling y'all this stuff again and again, but write them all down and we'll go through this.
So today we have some Q&As.
Yes, today she's going to be asking me all kinds of questions, and I don't know what all they are. I hope it's nothing about my love life. Okay, we ain't going there. Still sites, that's all confidential information.
Yes,
But
I have.
other than that, I'm pretty open there, sweetheart. So,
All right. So we're going to give you a chance to give the viewers a little bit of insight on who you are and why you do what you do, and give them a chance to ask some questions for future question and answers.
sounds good to me.
All right, you up for some?
I enjoy questions.
All
I'm
righty then.
For every question, I've got a smart ass answer. So just throw them at me.
So moonshine has been passed down for how many generations for you?
That I know of, I'm the fifth. My granddaddy talked about his granddaddy cooking shine. I know that both of my grandfathers, both of my mom's and my dad's side, they both dabbled in moonshine to one extent or another, and I learned quite a bit from both of them. Not so much about cooking shine, but I learned a lot about finishing shine, about aging it and curing it.
So a little bit of tips from all of them, huh?
Oh yes, yes. I can remember one granddad coming up. He'd come up to visit, and he'd get a couple of jugs of shine from my dad that I knew Dad had just run, the week before. Granddaddy'd take it back home down to Spurger there, and he'd get in the barn. He had a place back over there where a bunch of corn cobs and corn shucks and everything, where he'd been raising corn, feeding his hogs and all. But you look back over in this one spot there underneath the corn shucks, there was a box, and that's where he aged his liquor. Okay, the stuff that he would set up and age it for any length of time, that was it. But I've seen the man pick up 2 gallons of raw shine, take it home, put it in the barn, and do his magic to it. A week later, he's taking it out and selling it as 20-year-old bourbon.
Because of the charred barrels?
Because of the way that he finished it. Yes, he had
That's
his
awesome.
tricks, and yes, he would take brand new shine, turn it into 12, 20-year-old liquor in just about a week or so.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes, I was impressed with it, especially once I got older and started really realizing what I'd been taught as
Right.
a little youngster. This is stuff that I was seeing at 4 or 5 years old. I was learning this stuff,
That's
from my
crazy.
grandparents and everything. It was cool.
Do you think you have 3 sons, right?
I have 3 sons, yes I do.
Do you think any of them are going to follow in your footsteps?
I believe so. They've all 3 been taught some and everything. They all 3 have an aptitude for it if they really wanted to pursue it. I haven't taught any one of them everything. I've been selective in what I've taught them. You put the 3 of them together, if you could keep them from killing each other, they could probably turn out, a pretty good batch of shine there, but they would have to work together to do it at this point.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Piney Woods, East Texas, in the northern disputed zone, or the northern free state, top end of the free state. Around Caddo Lake, Monterey Lake, Stratford Bow, Cypress Bow, all these bows and everything.
That's how you know how to get my mayhaws, huh?
Yes, that's how I know how to get your mayhaws, darling. I've been getting mayhaws out of these swamps for years and years now.
Makes the best jelly ever. And
Oh,
chop.
it does. Yeah, and it makes a really good brandy too. Really good brandy.
Have to try that.
Yeah. But I grew up right here in these swamps and woods. kicking around here in East Texas and West Louisiana, and you know, it's home to me. It's a wondrous place. I love it. I really, really do.
It is beautiful.
Yes.
So, who was your biggest influence during your childhood? It don't have to be just one. You
Well,
can pick more than one.
I guess Jess Martin would have, I guess, I learned more from Uncle Jess than I did anybody. Now, I call him Uncle Jess. He was always Uncle Jess to me, but he was no actual blood relationship. But he was always Uncle Jess. He taught me so much about woodlore, fishing and hunting and different stuff like that, different things in the woods and all.
Foraging.
Just taught me so
Survival.
much and different things. The very best advice that man ever gave me.
That was my next question, yes.
Yes, the best advice that man ever gave me. He told me one day, he said, son, he says, don't ever pigeonhole yourself. He says, learn all you can. The more crafts that a man has, the more skills that he has, the broader his skill set, the less chance he has of going hungry. If you pigeonhole yourself, and say you, as a carpenter, you become a carpenter, and a great carpenter, making good money as a carpenter, but all of a sudden there's a housing slump, and they ain't building houses nowhere, and carpenters, they're a dime a dozen. You can't find no work as a carpenter. You're going to starve if that's all you know.
Yeah.
But if you know how to weld, or lay block, or run equipment, run printing presses, cook barbecue,
Electrical, plumbing, yeah.
anything,
Exactly.
the more skills you have, the less chance you have of going hungry, because you can always find some kind of work somewhere to keep you going.
Did you pass that piece of advice on to your kids?
I pass that piece of advice on to everybody that I possibly can. I really do. Yes, I've lived by that.
Speaking of, what was some of your other career paths?
Besides shining, well, let's see. I was in the Navy. I worked on the flight deck of the USS Nimitz. Got out, went to work as an offset pressman, running printing presses. Then I got into electrical, which I always liked electrical anyway.
That was handy, right?
Yes, I got to industrial electrical by chance and was able to learn industrial electrical, running conduit, pulling wires, setting switch gear, doing hookups, all this good stuff. Then I changed gear. I went to work for a mechanical crew and learned my millwrighting, my welding, my fitting, my operating, my rigging. What else? Oh, just all kinds of different hydraulics, pneumatics, instrumentation. You know, I learned all this stuff. Every time I got to work with some really good bosses that saw potential in me. And anytime I saw something new that I wanted to learn, a skill on the job, they let me go.
Right.
Here, yeah, go learn. The more you know, the better. You know, the more I knew, the better hand I was for them. You know, and everything. So yeah, they just let me go, and I learned a bunch of different stuff. I can fly airplanes. I can fly helicopters. I've been a fisherman. I've designed and built Harleys from ground up. What else have I done? Fishing and trapping. You know, I've done that.
Which one of those has helped with your moonshining the most?
What, as far as
Any of your career choices that you've had before?
Several of them, especially the fitting and the engineering and everything.
Right.
I am a non-degreed engineer. I've designed all kinds of machinery. and everything, and really loved all that.
Yeah, personally, I was blown away by how you're still set up. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Well, I love engineering. I love designing stuff and building things. And when I went to work in engineering, they really loved me because I didn't come from the classroom. I came from the field. I learned in the field. I learned all my skills, all my craft work in the field, practical, hands-on. Then I ended up hurting my back. I had to get out of the field, and out of the shop, and went into the office, engineering, running computers, designing stuff, doing blueprints. They loved me because I could speak both languages. I could sit in the engineering room and design things and design them right, and then go to the shop and I could build anything I was designing. But I knew how to talk to the guys in the shop as well as the guys in the boardroom.
So what made you end up deciding that this was what you wanted to do? Out of
Um,
all of those choices, why shine it?
Why shining? It's just kind of necessity. I moved out here after my dad died. I got out of Fort Worth and came out here. Next thing I know, I've got my boys out here living with me, and you know, I'm trying to hustle and work and keep them supported. Going through the barn one day, and there was the equipment, you know, the steel and everything, and there had been people asking me about my dad's shine. Was there any left anywhere, any hidden somewhere, you know? And they were offering stupid money for it.
Right. What made you choose this over all the other career paths?
It was necessity. I moved out here from Fort Worth in '09 when my dad died, and took over the place. Next thing I know, I got my boys out here. I'm having to take care of them, trying to feed them and scrape a living together. Going through the barn and found some old equipment, like old friends. And, there'd been people asking about my dad's shine. Was there anything left? Had I found any, which I didn't. I looked hard,
I bet
trust
you
me,
did.
but I couldn't find none of his old stuff. I was needing to feed my boys.
Yeah.
So I pulled Gertrude out and set her up and started shining. And at first, no, it was rough. It really was. I had to really learn the equipment and how she worked and everything. I had to do a lot of tinkering and redesign and building everything to get her right, do what I wanted to, get my recipes worked out. But eventually, hey, I got it. And been just doing it ever since then. Like I say, it became a necessity, just trying to feed my boys.
Well, I know we've all been really proud of your steps towards the, you know,
Thank you. Thank you.
towards what you've been doing.
Yeah.
It's been amazing to watch you step out there and put what we love so much out on the market. That is pretty impressive. You want to tell the viewers a little bit about you and your going legal time, or
Well,
it's too early for all that?
yeah, well, I'm in the process of trying to go legal. Okay, there's a bunch I can't discuss
Right.
at this point in time. Okay, but yes, I'm in the process of trying to get legal.
And how do you like your new title?
I do. I do.
And can you say it for your viewers?
Master Distiller.
Yes, sir.
by Hicks.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to change up the gears a little bit.
Okay.
I know you've done a ton of flavors. I've tasted quite a few.
Yes.
All of them I love. What is some of your all-time favorites? And then I'm going to ask the viewers to drop down in the comments and tell us some of their favorites.
Okay. Okay. I guess my top shelf, I bet my personal favorites would be, it'd be a toss-up between my aged pecan brandy, well, the aged brandies, period, the aged brandies outdo anything, okay? That being said, the pecan, the mayhaw,
Yes.
and the blackberry, the three of those have got to be, I
Oh,
guess,
you
some of
left out my
best.
favorite, my blueberry pie.
But the blueberry pie is an RTD. That's
I know.
that's an LPR drink. Okay. Comes to LPRs, it's got to be the mayhaw pie.
It is really, really
I
good. It's my
love
favorite.
that mayhaw pie. Oh my God, that could turn me into a dadgum drunk.
So what was your best seller? Was it the flavored or the unflavored?
I sell a lot more of the LPRs, the drinks.
Okay, and for the viewers, what does LPR stand for?
LPR. That's liquid panty remover. The nickname we gave it years ago.
So that's the strong stuff?
No. The LPR. That's your apple pie, your blueberry pie.
Oh, all the one the women
mayhaw
love.
Pie, the sipping
Oh,
creams.
okay.
All of the sipping creams and everything. Those are in the LPR category. The reason why is because these are very dangerous.
Right.
Okay. Women especially love them, but they are very dangerous because the way I make them, and you know this, you don't taste real strong alcohol. It's made like a good Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much alcohol is in there. You don't taste it.
Right.
But after you've done drank one or two and you get up to go walk across the room and you hit the floor, you figure out, wait a minute, there's more in there than I thought there was. Okay. I've been told multiple times that my pies need big warning labels on them, especially when they're chilled, because they are just...
So to all your viewers, y'all need to leave what you like, which one of those that you like down in the
Yes,
comments.
yes.
Give us something to talk
Let me
about on the
know-
next one.
Yeah, let me know what y'all's favorites are and everything. I mean, you know.
What's the largest batch you've ever made, and how many days did it take you?
Oh, okay. Oh, the largest batch. I did 200 gallon. I mashed in 200 gallons of plums.
Good gracious.
Yes, 200 gallons of plum mash. It took it a little over, about 2.5 weeks, I guess it was, to work off. It worked off pretty good, pretty quick there. 2.5 weeks.
Good gracious.
And then I started running 50 gallons at a time. I only had a 50-gallon pot. So I'm running 50 gallons at a time and going back to back on it. And these were brandy runs, low and slow, you know. Light the fires about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's maybe, you know, midnight, 2 o'clock before I'm shutting the fires off.
Oh, wow.
Getting up the next morning, drain it out, throw another one in, let's go. Get her run, get her run, get her run.
Back to back, back.
Back to back to back, just get it and go.
You can't even really sleep, yeah.
Sleeping on the job is the best I can do.
Just napping.
Napping here and there, yes.
Where's the craziest place you've ever made it? Now, I know this story,
Oh.
but I think your viewers need to know.
Okay. A few years ago, good buddy of mine, Mark, called me up. Him and old Mr. John teamed up. They were trying to cook some shine. And they was working on it, but they just didn't have it all together. They called me up, wanted to know if I'd come do some consulting. Watch them run a batch there and critique it, critique the rig, what they're doing, the whole 9 yards. Sure, I ain't got no problem. I love doing stuff like that. Come get me. So, a few days later, Mark calls me up. You ready? I says, yeah, sure, come on. He come and got me. We went over in Louisiana. Over there. On this undisclosed location.
Yes, sir.
We pulled in this driveway, and there's this building. There was a sign sitting out front, which I didn't pay too much attention to. It was some 7-name church, you know. I don't know. But looking at the place, go, well, okay, I guess it was a church at one time or what. I don't know, you know. We went around back and went in, and there's Mr. John. He's got the rig set up. He got her heating up, you know. Okay, cool. Jump right in. Let's do this. And we was running shine, and I did some tweaks here and some this and that and the other, and some adjusting and all. And a couple of hours later, I've got this thing tweaked in. I mean, she's running beautifully, running perfect. Really good shine. And I remember it was some Satsuma oranges that Mr. John and Mark had mashed in. Boy, they was coming off. You could smell that orange. Oh my God, it tasted good. But this was in a back room of this building, and it was like a mechanical room. There was some AC going. He had fans going. The steel's going.
Pretty nice setup, right?
Yeah, but you know, the steel was going. There was a lot of noise, is what I'm getting at. Okay, there was a lot of background noise and everything. I'm standing there and listening to the rig, and y'all hear that? And they're like, what? This is, sounds like some music. Mr. John like, oh, that's just them in there singing hymns for the Sunday evening service. No big deal. At that point, my mother had been deceased for like 6 years. But I heard her voice. I'm talking about just clear as day. You're gonna burn in hell, boy.
Little did you know that they was going to be having church on the same time that you're doing your
I cooked shine in the back of a church on a Sunday evening while they was having services up front. Yes, ma'am, I did this.
Well, I have a few questions that are just for fun. It's frequently asked questions.
Okay.
So, here's just a few of the facts that everybody has asked me to ask you, and things like that. So here we go. Have you ever been ran off or caught by the cops while making shine?
Not exactly. They've come real close. They've never actually busted me. Okay. They've never actually busted my site and found my equipment running or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they've come so close a time or two that, no, this site's I ain't going back there.
Right.
I ain't making liquor there no more. I'm done there. Find me another spot.
What do you like to do in your downtime? What's your hobbies?
I love messing with horses, training and raising horses. I like playing guitar, blues guitar,
Yes, you
slide. I like being in the woods. Every chance I get these days, I put my P-row in the water and I go up the bayou.
Yeah.
Not fishing, not hunting, just
Enjoying it.
going enjoying the bayou.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like to enjoy it.
I just like enjoying life and, you know, doing what I'm doing.
Okay, this one is for one of our family members. They asked, what was the strongest you've ever made? And what is the highest proof that a person should really drink, in your opinion?
Okay. The strongest I've ever made, I think it was like 186, which is just ungodly strong. This was a Dublin run that we did, and we really kind of pushed the envelope on it. And this was just some super high proof stuff. I mean, it was almost like it came out of a column still. And it was just a kettle and thumper and a worm, but yeah.
But that running it twice, is that what did it?
Running it twice, the way he had it all set up, the way the thumper was loaded and everything, yes, it was some ungodly high stuff.
Now, is your recommended proof, is that different for men and women?
Well, no. My recommended proof, well, for a long time my benchmark was 90 proof. It was either 90 proof or better. I wouldn't let loose of nothing that was less than 90 proof. LPRs being excluded from that.
Right.
Okay. A lot of it I have to be hotter than that. But most of my brandies and finished liquors, they finish out around 90 proof. Okay, which is that's a good, nice spot there. It's hotter than what you're going to get in the stores, but it's not too hot that you can't drink it.
Right.
Okay. My finished liquors, my finished brandies, those I strive to make top shelf sipping liquor.
Right.
And they're made to be sipped, not shot. If you shoot them, you're wasting them. It's so much flavor infused into them that's.
Well, I know from personal experiences, you'll even make ours a little bit weaker if we ask. So
Yes, I will
for
make it.
me and Sherry.
If you needed it a little bit weaker, hey, just put you an ice cube in there, a little bit of water, kick it on down there to 75 or whatever you want, whatever's comfortable for you. Personally, I think anything over about 110 is just, it's really, you're drinking to get drunk and not drinking for the flavor.
Right.
Okay, if you get up above that now, like your rums, they've got to be over 100 proof, just to get the flavors up and everything. Something about rum, when you're tempering it down, you get it below 100 proof, and it just all of a sudden just tastes like it's watered down to 30 proof or something. I mean, it could be 98 proof, 99 proof, and taste like it's 40.
Right.
Okay, you get it 100 or above, and you can taste the alcohol back in it again. I don't know what it is about rum, but that's just.
So what's some of the most used slang words for shine that you've heard or that you use?
Hooch, boot, corn,
Was it like liquid lightning or white
oh
lightning
yeah,
or whatever?
white lightning,
Yeah, yeah.
stump water,
That's what everybody always asks for, is the
yeah,
white lightning.
yeah, white lightning, stump water, Mountain Dew, I don't know. There's been so many different terms I've heard through the years. I can't remember them all. It just depends. A lot of them very local and everything. But yes.
How long does it keep? Like if I have a jar of your shine, how long?
If you have a
do I
jar
keep
of my shine, it will keep until the second coming of Christ. Okay.
If it lasts that long.
Yes, if you can keep the lid closed, it will last, because like any of my brandies or finished liquors, they're at least 90 proof. That's 45% alcohol or better, and yeah, it's going to keep. It's not going to rot. It's not going to go bad.
Right.
It's just going to sit there and get better, more mellow,
Right.
mellower with age. Time does something to liquor that man can't just reproduce.
Your number one question from your viewers was, will it really make you blind?
Yes, it will if you don't know what you're doing. There's what they call the heads, or fusel-oils. So that's comes out in the first beginning of your run. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. They will get the fusel oils in the liquor and sell it. And when people drink it, when people drink infused oils, that's what gives you the hangover the next day.
Gotcha.
Okay? Too much of it, yes, it can make you go blind. If your liquor is not made correctly, you can hurt somebody seriously. Yes. Very much so.
What's the spoon test?
Spoon test.
Yes.
Okay, well, spoon test or flare test, same thing.
Is that where you light it up and it
You take
see the color?
You take a little bit of your shine, put it in a spoon there, and you light it on fire. And you take a look at the flame and you see what it's doing.
So
And
was blue good or bad?
blue is good.
Okay.
Blue is real good. Clear blue with a little bit of yellow on top. Oh yeah, she's great.
All right.
And what you can, it's kind of a way that you can roughly test the proof of your shine, because the alcohol will burn, but the water won't.
Right.
So if you start with a spoonful of liquor there and you light it and it goes out, I mean it's all quit burning and you still got half a spoonful of water,
Yeah.
it's cut pretty good.
Oh, that's a good way to tell.
Yeah.
Good way. I like that. Do you have to clean your stills between your batches?
You gotta wash them out, rinse them out and everything. You don't have to do a hard scrub on them every time. I don't. I just make sure that all the solids and everything is washed out and let's go.
A good rinse on it.
Yeah, it's a good
And
rinse.
ready to go
If you-
again.
If you got a copper still, every so often you've got to do a vinegar wash in them to get the green oxide, out of it, because it'll turn your liquor blue. But once it does, hey, clean it out, run it. All right, let's go. You're clean. Let's go. And you got another, 4 or 5 months out of it if you're lucky before you have to do it again.
All right. The next one is from my daughter, your great niece, and she wanted to know, which one do you like to do the most out of all the homemade liquors? Which one's your favorite to make?
All the liquors, which one's my favorite to make?
Yeah, shine, wine,
Well,
mead. What's your favorite?
okay, well, all right, first of all, when you're making shine, well, I'll explain it the way that my son did, my oldest son. Beer is what you get when you give up halfway through trying to make some whiskey. Wine, that's what you get when you give up halfway through trying to make some brandy. Okay. You got to make either a sugar wash, a beer, or a wine in order to make distilled liquor. Because what you're doing is you're taking that wine or beer, which has a low alcohol by volume, and you are distilling it, cooking the liquor out, leaving the rest of it behind.
It's pretty
So,
impressive.
Now, I was good to sit down and drink. My favorite would be a good yeasty ale, a malty ale. I don't like bitter beers, which is why I don't drink beer anymore. I don't like the flavor. They found a good one that I like. I hate the taste of hops. They're bitter. I don't like it. I like a good malty yeasty beer. I enjoy a good semi-dry wine from time to time. Good Livenish or good Muscadine, Mayhaw,
Yes.
whatever. They're all good. I don't like them too sweet. I don't like them too dry. Unless I'm putting them in the kettle, and then I want it just as dry as it can get.
Right. Well, this is your last question out of your Q&As. How many batches, if any, have you messed up? And is it common or is it rare
Oh.
for those beginning?
I can't tell you how many batches I have messed up. Okay, there's quite a few, but I learned that even when I mess one up, I mean, I can mess one up real good. I know how to fix them all now. It ain't no big deal. I don't get
Frustrated.
I don't
like
get
you
frustrated or anything like that when I do screw one up. None of them. I mean,
Just part
a
of it.
perfect run. I don't know if I've ever had a perfect run. There's always something going on, something happening. But yeah, I've screwed up quite a few of them. Yes, it is. It is fairly common to screw one up. You know, and if you're not screwing up, you're not working. You're not learning. You're not trying. Okay.
Yeah, it takes the trial and errors.
The screw ups is where you learn.
Right.
It's not the successes, it's the failures that you should be learning from.
Pretty good. Well, that wraps up all of our Q&As.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to allow your viewers to get a little bit more about you,
It was my pleasure.
a little bit of your journey that you've taken and why you're a shiner. And we can see that your passion for it's pretty clear and the knowledge is impressive. And trying to keep that tradition alive for your heirs, you know.
Yes.
It's important. It's important that you keep the culinary art alive. We look forward to answering many more of y'all's questions in the future Q&As. So don't forget to hit the bell and thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and share with a friend or a loved one who loves to shine.
I want to thank everybody, and I especially want to thank one of my most favorite nieces of all time, Angela.
You're welcome.
You know, and yes,
My pleasure.
Like and subscribe, share it, and look forward to seeing y'all in the future.
And that's an adios from Northeast Texas.
That is an adios from Northeast Texas.